What's up everyone? In this video I want to share with you a few tips that you can use to increase your chances of success in more standard lines of profession. Some of the things that I talk about in self-development you think only applies to business or careers or professionals or office workers, and that's just not the case. It can apply to a lot of different professions. Some of these things are timeless and transferable. For example, let's say that you are a singer and you're auditioning to uh, be on a singing competition TV show like The Voice or X Factor. Let's say you already got in, but now you have to compete and get to the next level and succeed even more. Certain mindsets and understandings and practices can really help you succeed, whether or not you succeed in a competition, but throughout your whole life as well as the competition. So let's just get to it, and I'll break it down using this singing competition example. So what do most singers do in a singing competition? They just sing, practice on their singing skills alone, and then they wish that they win. What else can you do on top of that? The first thing is perseverance and understanding the bigger picture. If you look to a lot of biographies, which I bring up a ton of the time, uh, it really shows that perseverance is huge. Now, this does not guarantee success. I've known a couple people who have spent 10 plus years pursuing a Broadway career into their 30s and they didn't succeed, or an acting career. However, what you should know is that a lot of people, they give up after 2 or 3 years, or once they hit their 20s or early 30s. But if you look at some of the most successful people at what they do, whether it's actors or singers, Harrison Ford, George Clooney, even some of the greats, Morgan Freeman, these people, their first initial success was often after years of work, and some of them only did acting on the side. Some of them really hustled and persevered until that first major break, which took after like 10 years of work. But once that first major break hit, it propelled them to more and more success. In the modern world, we are barraged with pictures by the media of overnight successes and young teenagers who are successful. And those are the rare cases. I don't think overnight success really exists. It takes hard work and persistence. So understand that. And if it doesn't work out during the voice or singing competition you're in, there's still stuff you can do afterwards, and keep pushing at it. And most people don't see the underside to the story. Christina Grimmie is one of many great examples in modern times. She started out in YouTube, grew that very successfully, and then still went to audition for The Voice, eventually got in, got to a high place, and there's a lot going on behind the scenes. Justin Bieber, when he first started out, started on YouTube, and then he hustled to get on every single radio station, and it was tough to get his name out there, but he did what he had to, which was drive to every single radio station constantly, hundreds. So keep those things in mind, and I think, the bigger picture in mind. If one thing doesn't work out, that doesn't mean you give up. Most people do give up after the first or second attempt, and you have to realize that persistence and constantly showing up increases your chances versus the guy who just sits at home. When you're going out and talking to people, that could help. Of course, that's not the only thing necessary. And before I get into the other tactics and techniques you can use, I just want to throw in my own little advice. Remember, money, happiness, not always related. Fame, not always related either. And some of you might have to learn that the hard way, but I mean, there's tons of celebrities, many of which clips I've sampled to show you already, that they get to the fame and money and they're still not happy. So keep those things in mind. Don't just do it for superficial reasons. And I think I have to say it because it's such an epidemic problem in the world, and that's why I infuse it into all my videos, because most people don't realize that, and it's getting worse and worse. So second technique, visualization. So it seems really woo-woo, and I'm a really practical and logical guy. There's all this law of attraction stuff and subconscious programming. I don't get too deep into it, but there's actually a lot of science behind the power of the subconscious mind. It's there for a reason. And if you're just letting garbage in, or people talk their negative thoughts, that's going to wreck you. So if you just if you can just subconsciously, naturally uh, envision your clear goal, it'll keep you aligned. It'll keep you from going off track. If you just hang around anyone you want, you're going to let all sorts of garbage thoughts and mediocre or low class or low performer mindsets seep into your subconscious that you're not even aware of. So, of course, I recommend Napoleon Hill's books if you want to go deeper. But long story short, just act, feel like you're already there, that you figure out your goal, and then figure out what you would do in exchange for it, and then program into your subconscious, I'm already there, this is what it feels like. And it will constantly realign you towards moving in the right direction. Write down your goals on a daily basis. That's another one. Write it with a pen and paper. It will also keep you very aligned and focused on what you should be after, and cut out the inefficient waste of time, partying or whatever else that might screw you up in the long term, at least until you get to the more important goals. Next, of course, this all goes into figuring out if those goals are what you really want in the first place, but that's deeper and I've already covered that. So what other techniques outside of those that you can use? You are the average of the 5 people that you hang around most. If you hang around successful people, you're going to be successful. If you hang around losers or people who aren't doing well in the music industry or whatever you want to go, you're going to internalize a lot of their bad habits or reasons why they're not doing so well. So, of course, you can't get the top stars to be your mentors right away, but maybe you can go on LinkedIn or somewhere and at least get people just one step above you. Maybe people who make a full-time income from music, or at least work at a really good music company or industry. So that's another huge thing. What else can you do? Again, all these things I've mentioned in previous videos, but I'm just applying it to a more conventional uh, industry. Exercise. Exercise is huge. There's a lot of science behind it. Just do 5 to 10 minutes a day of cardio or high intensity training. It will really light you up, make you more productive, have you feel more happy. You will actually be more happy. You'll be more productive. You'll have more energy. You'll be able to do more. You'll be more attentive. Next thing, meditate. Now, this is one of those weird ones that it's optional. It's not necessary to succeed, but it can really help. A lot of the most successful people I've seen, they have some form of meditative practice, and it really just helps clear and focus your mind. And there's a lot of health benefits too. Lowers your blood pressure, helps you stay focused, helps you have clarity, which is really important, and all sorts of other stuff. Again, as you can see, I really border on the practical side of things. Most people, when you talk about meditation or they're meditation gurus, they're doing it because of the woo-woo stuff, like, oh, I'm a meditation guru. So keep those things in mind. And of course, I have a lot more stuff, but those are the foundational things that you should just start doing. So simple, really, but no one does it. Eat healthy, exercise, meditate, write down your goals daily, program them into your subconscious mind, and hang around the right people. And those alone will get you ahead. Of course, there's other stuff like social skills, networking, and I cover those in previous videos. But I just want those foundational, simple things to really help you increase your chances. Because what are most people doing? I would say they just, in the case of singing, they just practice singing. Or maybe they don't even practice or critique themselves or learn from their mistakes or analyze. They just sing, which can work, but there's always something more that you can do. So keep those things in mind. And again, I'm hoping that you're one of those real winners, because the losers who say they like singing, but when you ask them or you examine their life, they only sing or practice once a week for 20 minutes. Those people will, fall out of the game eventually, because they're more engrossed by the glamour and the fame, not willing to put in any hard work. But I'm hoping that you who are watching this actually have some resolve. And there's things that you can do to do this. And as always, make sure it's fun. Keep the whole thing fun. And I think that's what will separate you from burning out and not enjoying the process or the eventual job versus actually liking what you're doing the whole time. So that's it. Hope it helped. And I will see you in my next video. Peace.